I'm Dr. Specchio, and this is my food science laboratory. This is our teaching laboratory for the food science concentration. My area is food science, and this course actually is a food analysis course. It's called experimental food science, and what we do here, we take all different types of foods and we analyze them for their nutritional content, for their chemical composition, and all of that. This way it gives our students a real in-depth knowledge of what the food components are. If you look at a nutritional food facts label, you're going to see the breakdown of all the ingredients and the composition of food. Well, this is how we do it. We use laboratory instruments in order to analyze food, and this class actually is, again, more of a food analysis class. Okay? And what we're doing today is we're doing an experiment called water activity. Water activity is very important for food safety and food quality. And we need to measure not only the water in the food, but what we call the free water in food, which is water that is available for bacterial growth and also for things like sensory quality and all that too. The more free water a food has, the more perishable it becomes. So the students learn here which foods are perishable, which foods are non-perishable. If it's a low water activity, it's a non-perishable food. These are water activity meters. Okay, these are very, very accurate. And what they do, the student will take some of the product. You can do this now. Take some of the Raisin Bran, and a little bit more. We put it into the meter, water activity meter, and it automatically gives us the amount of free water that's in the particular. This is a very dry food, okay? So the water activity is going to be about a 4.4. It can go up to 0.1, which would be a total almost 100% water. So if we have something like 0.45, it means that it's a very low water activity and it's non-perishable food, okay? So again, if we go over to some of the perishable foods, I just want to show you a little bit of the perishable food here. Okay, we'll see the difference. You guys have, let's just do another example here, okay? You guys can do this. Okay, take one of these little cups, put a little milk in there, okay? Maybe about halfway. Okay, so that's the difference between a dry food. We'll see the water activity of the milk, okay, which will have a much higher water activity. So it's a much higher perishable food. So again, this really is a very important analysis for food scientists to actually show which foods are perishable and which foods are not. You see it's going all the way up, probably going to go up now almost to 9 or almost 1, okay? And it shows that it has a lot of free water, obviously. It's a perishable food. So this is really one of the things that food scientists do. This is one of the first things they do, is they take a water activity, again, to determine if that food is perishable, if it's not perishable, if it's semi-perishable, and that's what food preservation is all built upon. If it's a highly perishable food, then food scientists have to find a way to preserve that particular food, whether it's through refrigeration, whether it's through preservatives, whatever it may be. So make sure that the food we produce is safe and has a long shelf life.
My name is Jamie Miller. I'm an adjunct professor. I teach Nutrition 192, which is a 4-credit nutrition class with a lab component. Today we're going to do the anthropometrics lab, so we're taking different body measurements to measure body composition. So we have different stations set up, and we'll go around and the students or myself will tell you what we're doing. So here the students are doing a knee height measurement. When we're not able to physically measure how tall someone is, there's a formula that we can insert the knee height into to estimate their actual height. Number up here is the body fat percentage, and that's your BMI.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
So you're gonna want just roll your sleeve up a little bit.
Okay.
And then let your arm just kind of hang, just relax it. And then what you want to do is you're gonna pinch the skin here, okay? And then what you do is kind of pinch the caliper so that it is right underneath the skin fold, and then let it sit, and then it'll calibrate. And then you're gonna write down this number here.
Okay.
So 20 millimeters is gonna be that, your tricep skin fold. When you sit, you're able to do 3 tries. So take an average, or you want to take the highest number out of them. Make sure you put your feet kind of at the,
Flat?
yeah.
Okay.
There's a line that says foot line there. So just make sure when you stretch, don't bob or anything like that. Just fully just, you know, press it forward, yeah, and hold it. And then you can round to the nearest 1/4 of an inch. But you get 3 tries. But yeah, definitely stretch a little before you do it. That's why there's all these different measurements that we take into consideration, because one might put you somewhere, you know, and the other one will.
It was literally like 1 point off.
Yeah, just like with the, you know, ideal body weight and everything. You might be over your ideal body weight, but you might have a lot of muscle mass and, you know, everything like that. So there's a lot to take in consideration, which is why we do all of these different measurements and take them all into consideration.
Hi, this is our quantity food class, and our students learn how to cook, not for 1, but for 100, 200, 500, because they're going to go on and working in institutional settings like hospitals and schools. Mostly as registered dietitians, but we have some food systems students here. So they're going to watch quantity production. So in this class today, what they're learning is hydration, how farinaceous ingredients hydrate. And when I say farinaceous, if you don't know what that means, it's anything to do with a grain or beans or legume. So they're taking dry ingredients, seeing how much they hydrate and what they weigh after they're hydrated. And also they're doing yield percents on vegetables to determine how much is wasted when they when they cut it. These concepts are very important now with global sustainability, because we talk about food waste, and we try and make our students who are in the quantity food class learn how not to waste food, particularly in quantities.
So we just cooked some millet and we cooked it on the stove top. We boiled it and it took about 27 minutes. And right now we just popped our vegetables that we did a julienne style cut into the steamer. So we're going to steam those for a few minutes and take them out and see how they do.
And we have our Margot. She's trying out cooking on the salamander broiler.
Yeah, so we're using the salamander broiler to broil some green peppers. And the green peppers were julienne sliced.
And Jessica is over here. You could throw those on while you do it.
We're doing the flat top griddle, so we're checking the temperature of it to make sure that it's at 350 when we grill it, because sometimes it's off, so we're just checking the temperature.
Okay, you can put the stuff in.
We're waiting until it gets to 350.
And Julia is over here. And what are you doing, Julia?
So right now we are going to be frying our vegetables at a temperature at 375 degrees, and Farella is cutting the zucchini right now.
So part of what we do in this class is we actually broadcast remotely what is going on in the class, so teams of students in other rooms could see and critique what's going on. They can view the actual production, give advice on how it should be done, so these students are being trained to have the capability in the future of actually operating different locations remotely without having to actually stand there, so that they can see, critique, and advise from afar.